one man is rewriting the rules and taking it to another level.
And the next level, and the next level.
The seventh level.
You just feel how natural it is. You feel how open you become to your prospects, and in response, they usually become more open to you.
Founded by Jeremy Miner, Seventh Level is the only friction-free sales system guaranteed to raise revenue.
In my life, it's been revolutionary.
And his followers are feeling the difference.
His training has transformed everything.
It is precise, and it really draws out emotions.
People around the world are starting to catch on.
We're going to tie in the new model of selling to your product or service that you sell.
These tools can work for anyone in any industry at any time.
And it's time to get on board before the ship sets sail. It's Seventh Level with Jeremy Miner.
It actually shows me on stage doing that, you know. All right, welcome to the live here. Let me go live here on Instagram and IG just to make sure we are live here. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're live there. You can switch it.
You got it.
Okay, we're going live here today. So what's up, everybody on Facebook? Some of you, I can see your names. I'm using StreamYard. So every Tuesday we do a live. I typically go live on StreamYard here from our offices in Arizona. And we're going live here in the Facebook group, Sales Revolution. 124,000 plus of you in that Facebook group. That thing's growing like crazy. Going live here on my IG channel or my YouTube channel. That thing's growing leaps and bounds. LinkedIn, the Facebook business page, about 180,000 of you on Facebook business page. We're going live here on Instagram. I love my Instagram people here. Getting close to about 700,000 followers on Instagram. And we're also going live here on TikTok. Love my people on TikTok. Now, today, I want to go over something with you about, I see a lot of salespeople. They're not bad at helping the prospect find problems per se, but they don't know how to finish the deal. They don't know how to get the prospect to see what their future looks like once the newfound problems are solved. So how do you get your prospects to see and, more importantly, emotionally feel and visualize what their future looks like once you've solved their problems with what you sell, your solution, your product, your service, your program, whatever you sell? This is very, very important here, okay? Because if you can't do that, if you can't help them find problems they didn't know they had, that's gap building, okay? Problem awareness questions. If we can't help them see what the future looks like once the newfound problems are solved, we're going to lose a ton of sales that we could be making, that we really should be making. You could double, triple, quadruple the numbers you're doing now. Now, if you're brand new to the Facebook group, let's say you started following me here in the Facebook group, Sales Revolution, maybe you just started following me on YouTube or LinkedIn or maybe Instagram here, or even, can't even, losing my brain here, President Biden moment here. No offense, I'm not political. I'm always cracking jokes about every president, right? TikTok. Now, if you're not familiar, Jeremy Miner, I'm the founder of Seventh Level. We're a sales training organization. You might have heard of us here and there. And we train people exactly like you watching me here in this. I've got this gray Nike shirt on, Seventh Level shirt. Sometimes I switch from Hugo Boss to Nike because Hugo Boss, unfortunately, has not reached out to us to sponsor us yet. I don't know why. So Hugo Boss, if you're listening, I'm thinking about switching to Nike. I'm thinking about having our entire company switch to Nike over Hugo Boss. So you might approach us, Hugo Boss. I might have to go to Nike, all right? Maybe Under Armour or something. So we train sales people like you. We train sales professionals like you. We train sales leaders like you. We train sales executive management like you. We train coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, business owners, all the way from Fortune 100 clients. We have 2 of those, to Fortune 500, down to SMB, small companies, down to individuals who sell anything. And we train you how to use techniques that work with human behavior. How do you get your prospects to do all the work? Whereas you might have been taught by your sales people you follow how that you need to do all the work. Or you can do that if you want to, but who has the problems? Does the prospect have the problems, or do you have problems? The prospect does. Now, you have the solution to solve those, so why are you doing all the work? You need to learn how to get the prospect to qualify to you, not you to qualify to the prospect, because you're not the one that has the damn problems. Okay. So how do you get your prospects to sell themselves rather than you trying to convince and sell them? That sounds gross. How do you get your prospects to overcome their own objections rather than you trying to overcome them? Because why would you want to do all that? It doesn't have any impact on you. It only impacts them because they don't get their problem solved and get where they want. How do you get your prospects to pull you in rather than you pushing and pressuring them? Because you already know that doesn't work that well unless you really like playing the numbers game. Well, I'd rather play the skills game, because the skills game makes you a lot more sales, and you don't have to talk to very many people to do that. Okay. Now, here's what I have each of you to do. Grab your phone, and I want each of you to go down to the bottom of your phone, and I want you to post in the chats #live. So if you're on the live, post #live. And if you're on the replay, I want you to post #replay. So if you're on the live right now, post #live. If you're on the replay, go post #replay. I better see. I mean, we've got between Instagram, TikTok, Facebook group, Facebook business page, YouTube, LinkedIn, we got about 1,400 of you on here between those 5 platforms. So #live if you're on the live, #replay if you're on the replay. Now, I want each of you to go smash the heart button, and I want you to smash the like button. I better see a lot of smashed hearts. I better see a lot of smashed likes if I'm going to train you for the next 25 to 30 minutes about how to get your prospects to open up and tell you what the future looks like once the newfound problem. So I don't have to do this. I can go out there and play golf. It's really nice. It's like 80 degrees here in Scottsdale today in our offices. I don't have to do this for you. So smash the heart button, smash the like button. I better see tons of those. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to move you over here, IG. I'm going to move you over here by the TikTok phone. I got IG phone, TikTok phone, all these different phones on here. Let me move over this Vibe board so you guys can kind of see this a little bit better. Move you guys back there. Man, until we get the new office done, this office is tiny trying to do all this stuff in here. New office is taking forever. We need a better construction crew over here in Arizona. Okay, things are slow sometimes. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, so how do we do this? I want everybody to pay attention right now. I'm going to do this here off my desktop as well. So what we need to do to get the prospect into what we call their future state, okay, or what does their future look like once the newfound problems, we have to do a few things here. Now, I'm going to show you one thing right here first. So these are called NEPQ solution awareness questions. Now, if you're one of our clients, you know all this times 10 billion%. If you're not one of our clients, if you're just following me somewhere, you're just kind of getting some basic stuff here that we release here and there. In one of our training programs, we have over 3,000 hours of training. On YouTube, I've only released 58 hours in the last 3 years. And I do that on purpose. You probably want to be a client if you want to learn how to sell more for sure. Okay, now there's 2 things. Solution awareness questions. There's 2 halves of solution awareness questions. Solution awareness questions. Okay. Let me find this for you guys. Okay. So the second half of solution awareness questions is right here. Okay. So what does their future look like once the newfound problems? Now, this is important here because before I get into solution awareness questions within the NEPQ process, I have to build a gap from where they are to where they want to be. Okay. Now we call those, let me show you this right here. This is the current state. So every prospect you're ever going to talk to, they have 2 places. They can either stay in their current state, that's their current situation, what is going on right now, okay? Or they can go to where they really want to be. We call that their objective state. So think about the 2 states. You got your current state right here, current state right here, and you got where they want to be or where they now see they can be, which is called their objective state. Now, it's up to us to build that gap. We want to build such a big gap from where they are to where they want to be that they feel they have to change. They feel so much internal tension, and they feel that by them purchasing what you're offering. That means buying what you sell, your product, service, program, whatever you do, that by them buying that, that is far less risky for them than them doing nothing at all, staying in the status quo. Their problems stay the same and nothing ever changes. In reality, which is more risky? Okay. Now that is called building the gap. So objective state right here is, what does the future look like? Okay. Once the problems are no longer there. Or it could be emotional needs. If I'm selling a $50,000 purse, okay, to a woman, it's solving an emotional need, higher status. So I'm selling a $500,000, Rolls Royce. I'm selling a higher status. I'm solving an emotional need. Okay. So what does their future look like once the newfound problems are solved? All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some generic examples of these. And then I picked about 6 or 7 different industry specific examples, some business to consumer, some business to business, B2B. So you can kind of see the differences of that. All right. So let me go through this with you. You're lucky I'm doing this for you here. I put some time here writing this out here on the board the other day. I did this training over in Dallas this weekend here. So, all right. Now, let's say, okay, let's start right here. No, let's go here. All right. Okay. Now, remember, we're asking these questions here. These are called solution awareness questions. Solution awareness questions here. By board. Okay. Helps the prospect understand and feel what the future will look like once the problems are solved. Now, I forgot to say, this live is sponsored by our sponsor, Vibeboard. We have a deal with Vibeboard. If you do any type of training, if you're in an office situation, you want your employees to actually be able to write down stuff and you want them to retain it where it's always here forever, Vibeboard is a place you want to be. We have tons of these all over offices. A lot of our employees have these. These are crazy, really good if you're in marketing, operations, sales, and you have different trainings that you want to pass on to other team members. You can virtually pass these on. Vibeboard.com, great company to work with. Okay. So what I'm first doing here is I'm finding out logically what they feel once the problems are solved, what they feel like it's going to do for them. Okay. So besides blank, how do you see this, I guess, benefiting you the most? Now, right here, I'm repeating back what they already said they wanted. So I want them to tell me, they've already told me why they feel it might be what they're looking for, why they want something, but I want them to tell me more reasons, because the more reasons they tell me, the more reasons they tell themselves. And does that build a gap? Yes, that builds a gap, a bigger gap from where they are to where they want to be. Now, this is generic. Don't write this down. You're not going to use generic examples. You want to learn how to tie your industry to this. This is just a formula. Okay. Now, after that, now they're going to tell me logically how they see benefit. Oh, it would do this, it would do that, it would do this. And then I need to ask them a question to get them to emotionally open up. Okay, but being able to do all that, what would that do for you personally though? Okay, but being able to do X and Y and Z, what would that do for you personally? And I lower my tone into that concern tone, a tone that shows empathy. Now, remember, your tone is how the prospect interprets the intention behind every single question that you ask. Adrian, when do you come to San Antonio again? I have no idea, Adrian, maybe in 5 years. You probably don't want to wait around for me to do a workshop 5 years from now. You can literally just message me and get into one of our training programs and start to sell more tomorrow. That's typically why people come to us. Going to workshops and keynotes, those are great, but how much of that do you retain and remember within 30 days? According to brain science, it's less than 3%. It's 2.7%. So unless you want to go to a workshop every week with me the rest of your life, you probably want to get into our virtual training portals. Just going on a limb there. Just message me directly if you want to learn about that, okay? How would it be different, though? You being able to blank, like how would your life, how would your business be? Depends on if you're selling to a company, telling to an individual. How would it be different than it is now, though? Okay. It's getting them to see what the future looks like, how it's going to be different once the newfound problems are solved. These are all generic. Okay. Now, okay, let's go. Let me give you a few industry specific examples. All right. In this example, let's say that you sell, let's say you sell for a gym, or maybe you're a personal trainer, or you're talking to people who want to lose weight, gain muscle, you work for a gym. Okay, I'm going to show you the formula. Now, even if this is not your industry, I'm going to show you about 6 or 7 different industry specific examples. If it's not your industry, start looking at the format that I'm showing you and start tying in your industry to what you're selling. All right, let me show you how this works. 1 second, I'm going to turn the AC down in here. All right, there we go. All right. Okay, so let's say that we come in and we're able to help you lose this 103 pounds. What would you be able to do that you feel like you can't do right now, or maybe you just don't feel like you're at best right now? Now, what did I just do right there? First of all, if I'm selling some type of program, or I work for a gym and they want to lose weight, I don't want to say, let's say we help you lose weight. Why would I want to specifically say the specific thing they want? Because I want them to feel that. I want them to see that. If I just say, say we help you lose weight, it doesn't make any sense. It just goes in one ear out the other. It's vague, it's generalized, it's surface level. Let me explain this. One of the biggest reasons why you ask questions, I want to ask each of this. Type in me if when you ask questions, you notice a lot of your prospects give you vague, generalized, surface level answers. Type in me in the chats, in the comments, if you feel the prospects you talk to when you ask questions, a lot of them give you vague, generalized, surface level answers. Type in me in the chat. They say, yeah, for sure. I'm just kind of looking around, or yeah, I'm just looking at some different options. Okay. The number one reason they do that, there's 3 reasons. The first reason, okay, which I'm going over here, is you ask generalized, vague, surface level questions yourself. So when you ask generalized questions, it's just abstract in the prospect's mind. So it just goes in one ear out the other, and they give you a surface level answer. The second biggest reason is you sound scripted. You haven't learned yet how to use your tonality to get them to let their guard down. So you haven't learned that for different questions are going to require different types of tonalities, from a curious tone to a challenging tone to a concerned tone to a confused tone to a playful tone. Okay, there's different questions that are going to require different types of tonalities. You have to learn that. Now, message me directly if you want to learn advanced tonality. We have training programs that teach you and train you all of that very specifically. We don't do much of that here on these lives because you're not our clients. Our clients deserve that training because they're coming to us. They come to us because we're a sales training company. And typically, individuals, salespeople, and companies typically come to us not because they want to sell less, because they want to sell more. Okay, that's why they come to us. All right. Now, okay, so let's say that we come in and we're able to customize. I'm able to customize a plan, and we help you lose 105 pounds. Like, in your mind, what do you feel like you'd be able to do that you feel you just can't do right now, or maybe you just can't do your best at right now? Oh, I'd be able to do this. I'd be able to do that. I'd be able to do this. Now, that's all logical. Every answer they just gave you is logical. Now, not only are they telling me what they feel they can do once they lose this weight, but more importantly, who are they telling? They are telling themselves. And that is the first part of self-persuasion, which is the highest form of persuasion, the highest conversion according to behavioral science. Okay. Now, here's my second solution awareness question I'm going to ask. Okay, but what would that do for you to be able to go out and play basketball with your son? So if they told me, oh, I'd be able to play basketball with my son, I'd be able to spend memories with him. Okay, but in your mind, what would that do for you to be able to play ball with your son? I mean, what would that do for you personally? And that is where the emotion comes here. Look, I love you. Some of you haven't learned yet how to get your prospects to emotionally open up, okay? And the reason why, what is that? What is the reason why that is? The reason why is because you haven't learned how to use your tonality to get the prospect to let their guard down. Jeremy, what's an update with the lawsuit in Orange County? Hey, Lee, guess what? You probably don't know anything about that. But my last job when I was a salesperson back in 2015, 2016, and 17, I sold for a company that didn't fulfill what was sold by the salespeople. So unfortunately, all of the salespeople that worked for that company got dragged into a lawsuit with those clients because the company didn't fulfill on what was bought. Now, would that be the salesperson's fault, or would that be the owners of that company's fault? Hopefully that answered your question, Lee, because you're probably asking me that because you're trying to show me up and look bad, make me look bad, weren't you? And that's all right. If you don't want to follow me, you don't have to follow me. Have you ever worked for a company that didn't fulfill what your prospects bought? Well, guess what? In some states, if they don't, you can get sued for that. And unfortunately for me, I'm in that lawsuit just because my company, I retired and took a year off after that job. And now because 7th Level is so big, they draw me into that with the owners of that company. So not much I could do about that. It's probably the company's fault. But that is the update about the lawsuit in Florida. There you go. I hope that made your day. All right. Goodness gracious. All right, let's keep going. I'm a little bit get sarcastic, so Lee, hopefully that, what, let's give Lee a Snickers bar over here on IG. He's having a bad day. So I hope that helped you. Hope that helped you there. Okay. Okay, let's keep going to the next one. Yeah, it sucks. I don't know. Has anybody ever worked for a company and you sold their products or services or programs and they didn't fulfill, they didn't do what they said they were going to do, and the clients you sold to got pissed off and blamed you? Has that ever happened to anybody? Type in me if that's ever happened, because that really sucks. And it's kind of out of your control when you're an employee of a business, right? When you don't work for the company. So unfortunately, that kind of sucks. So not much I can do about it. I actually paid a fee I had to pay a fee for that. It really sucked, but not much I can do. Okay. How would it be different though? Like losing the 105 pounds, and more importantly, be able to keep it off where it doesn't come back. Like how would your life be? How would it be maybe different than it is now though? Okay. See what I did that? How would it be different maybe than it is now though? All right. I'm getting them to see what the future looks like once the newfound problems are solved. Okay. All right. Let's go to a completely different industry right here. All right. Let's say that you sell solar. Type in me if you sell solar. Okay. Solar, I want to say this is the 5th. It always fluctuates. This is the 5th or 6th largest industry we train. We train 161 different industries. Guess how many industries there are in the world? Somebody type in the chat. How many industries? I want to see if you guys know. How many industries are there in the world? Type in the chat if you know how many industries there are in the world. I Googled this probably like 8 months ago, and I'm like, holy crap. No, not Vivint. Vivint was my first job. They always fulfilled. Vivint's a great company. This was my last job. I was in 4 different industries in my almost 18-year career. My last 3 years, or my last 2.5 years, I sold for one company that didn't fulfill. Well, they didn't fulfill like the last year. And unfortunately, I didn't get out in time because I didn't know. So not much I can do. There's only 161. Somebody got it right. 161 industries in the world. Can you believe that? Now there's subcategories of each industry. So like, let's say home improvement, there'd be like doors, windows, garages, like my good friend, Tommy Mell is the CEO of A1 Garages. Doors, windows, garages, awnings, sheds, cabinets, tile, bathrooms. I could go on and on. There's like 50 different things underneath home improvement. Leaf filter, gutters, those type of things. Okay, so let's say if you sold solar. Now take a look. If I'm selling solar, what am I selling? Not selling the panels. I'm not selling them on going solar. I'm selling them the results of what solar does, which is locking in their rate, lowering their bill, protecting them against the rate hikes from the power companies, and eventually not having a bill if I'm selling like a PPA type of loan. Okay. So let's say that we're able to, lock in your rate permanently, like we do with all of our clients, where it never goes up, and you were saving. I mean, it's not going to be that much. It's only going to be around 10 or 11,000 over the next 10 years or so that you're going to save. I mean, for a house like this, that's not even a ton of money for you guys. But what would that do for you personally to keep that money rather than being forced to keep giving it to Edison? And you just repeat back the company. Now, there's a couple things I just did there. I want to see if you notice what I just did. That was a really, really long question. So anytime I ask a really long question, am I going to ask that question fast, or do I need to do what? I need to verbal pace the question out. What I just showed you there is an example of what we call verbal pacing, verbal pacing. Because what would happen if I asked that question too fast? Let me show you the difference. Let's say that we're able to lock in your rate permanently like we do with the other clients where it never went up and you were saving. I mean, it's not going to be much, around 10 or 11,000 around the next 2 years. What would that do for you personally to keep that money rather than being forced to give it to Edison? Monotone voice, too quick. I'm going to get a knee-jerk surface level answer. Okay. So pay attention to how I use my tonality now and verbal pace it out to trigger a different emotional driver in the prospect's brain. Now, let's say that we come in, we're able to lock in your rate like we do with our other clients where it never went up. It's just the same. So the 241 you're paying right now last month, it's the same even in 20 years from now. Okay. It never goes up like your neighbors will, right? And I mean, it's not going to be that much you're going to save. You're going to save maybe 10, 11,000 or so over the next 10 years or so. I mean, for a house like this, that's not even a ton of money for you guys. But what would that do for you personally to keep that money rather than just being forced to keep giving it to Duke Energy? Now, let me show you. What did I do there? Why on earth would I say it's not going to be that much? It's only going to be around this. And I said, for a house like this, that's not even a lot of money. Why would I downplay the money they're going to save? Why wouldn't I upplay it? Why wouldn't I say, you're going to save a ton of money? You're going to save 10 or 11,000. It's so much money. Do you know why? Because in a sales situation, okay, this is an example of what's called mismatching. In a sales situation, when you make something a big deal, okay, especially before you have a lot of trust and credibility, guess what your prospect does? Well, I mean, that's not a lot of money. That's over 10 or 11 years. But if I downplay it, I mean, it's not going to be a ton of money. You're only going to save around 10 or 11,000 over the next 10 years. I mean, for a house like yours, that's not even a ton of money. Are you kidding me? My mom taught me a penny saved is a penny earned. See, it's called mismatching. Behavioral Science 101. When you downplay, now I don't mean downplay like you're not going to save any money. You shouldn't do this, John. That is not what I mean. Okay. But I'm downplaying so they upplay it in their mind. Now, look at a few other things I did here. Rather than just being forced to give it to, and then I repeat back the power provider company. Why would I use the word forced? Why would I use the word forced rather than just being forced to keep paying Edison every month? And what type of tone did I just use? It's kind of I don't want to say a disgusting tone, but it's kind of like a disgusting tone. It's like a subcategory. There's 5 tones you have to master. You have to master the confused tone, the curious tone, the challenging tone, concerned tone, and the playful tone. Now, in each of those tones, there's subcategories. If you're a client, we teach you all that, okay? A subcategory of a concerned tone is kind of a disgusted tone, like you're disgusted with it. Okay, actually, no, it's a challenging tone. Subcategories of challenging tones are more of a skeptical tone, and there's a disgusting tone, like it's something bad, okay? So when I use the word forced, nobody likes to be what? Forced or made to do something. So when I use that against the power company, rather than being forced to keep paying Edison every month, that sounds like a bad thing, like a negative thing, because they're forced to keep paying the power company. Because if they don't pay the power company, what happens? Their lights get turned off. The power goes off. They can't go to the bathroom. They can't do anything. They can't take a shower. They're homeless. See what I'm doing there? Okay, you want me to show you a few more industry-specific examples? Type in me in the chats if you want me to show you 2 or 3 more industry-specific examples for you guys. Type in me if you want me to show you a few more industry-specific examples, all right? Now, let's say you sell health insurance. This is a big industry. We train, I want to say a huge division. I want to say we train a huge division. You know, hold on one second here. Hold on one second. So type in me if you want me to show. Okay, we got enough me's here. I'll do this for sure. All right. So let's say you sell health insurance. This is a big industry, probably one of the top 25 industries we train in. In fact, we train, I want to say, gosh, one of the biggest divisions of United Healthcare in the United States, down in like their Southwestern division. Okay. So let's see what we got here. Let's suppose that we're able to get you a policy that, you know, has the nationwide network. So as you said, you can see any doctor you wanted and know that if anything big, you know, when something big happens, that you're going to be completely covered financially. Knowing that was there, what would that do for you guys? Now, what did I just do there? Let's say if I'm selling a health insurance policy and their biggest thing they didn't like about the policy they're with right now is that they can only see doctors in their network. But let's say the doctors in their network, there's a doctor outside their network that they feel does a way better job with some type of disease they have. Okay, so they want to switch the plan. Let's say that we're able to get you a policy that has the nationwide network. So you're able to pick the best doctors in the United States. So when something big happens to you, let's say, God forbid, you get cancer or you have a heart attack or you have a stroke or something happens, you're completely covered financially. Knowing that was there, what would that do for you guys? And I lower my tone, okay? Lower my tone into that soft, concerned tone, okay? Oh, it would do this, it would do that. Okay, but being able to have that, what would it do for you personally? And then this is where the emotion comes out, okay? Do human beings buy on logic or emotion? Emotion 100% of the time. You can't even make a decision without using your emotional side of your brain. Let me show you. I feel like a drink of water because I'm thirsty. Notice I feel like having a drink of water. See, that decision started with my emotional side of my brain. I feel like making a comment about Jeremy's hair because I don't like it. Okay. I feel like, going to bed tonight at 11 because I got to get up early in the morning. See, every decision you start with starts with your emotional side of your brain, and then you justify it with logic. As a human being, you cannot make a buying decision without your emotional side of your brain. That's where it all starts. See what I'm doing there? You guys are making fun of my hair over here on TikTok and IG. I see you. I see who you are. I can see. I'm tracking you down, guys, over there. Okay, let's say you sell cybersecurity. This is a big industry we train. Okay, let's say you sell cybersecurity and you're talking to Wells Fargo or Bank of America or something like that. See what we got here, right? So besides the company being able to reduce chargebacks, like how do you see this benefiting you the most? Though? Oh, it would do this, it would do that. So if you're the one that's responsible for bringing in the company to solve the chargeback situation, how does that actually help you? Oh, I would get promoted. My boss would make me look good, blah, 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 blah. See, how does that help you? That's logical. They start to tell me and themselves logically how it helps them bringing in the right vendor. Then I've got to get the emotion. Okay, but getting that promotion, what would it do for you personally to actually have your boss tell you that? Oh my gosh, it would relieve so much stress. Hold on, how do you mean by stress? Oh, see, and the emotions start to pull up here. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at another one here. Let's see what we got. Okay. Medical device. This is a big industry we train here. Type in me if you sell medical device. Big industry for us as well. Let's say that we get you the implant. Okay. So let's say we sell knee implants, for example. We train some big companies that sell knee implants here in the United States. See, oh, you guys are making fun of the hair. I see you. Jimmy Neutron hair. Reggie says Jimmy Neutron hair brain blast. Nicholas, yeah. Okay. There you go. You guys making fun of me. See, nobody makes fun of me over here. How is this training different than Grant Cardone's? Dick, tell me wrong, I like you better, but how's it different? Martha, just go through the training courses. You would probably know the difference. Now, I like Grant. I think Grant's a great marketer. I just don't know much about his sales training. Clients who come to us that have gone through his stuff, you can ask them. Maybe go post in our Facebook group and ask somebody. I'm allies with everybody. I don't say anything negative about anybody. Read the book, Art of War. It doesn't help you to make enemies. I want to make everybody my ally, okay? Because every company has has stuff that they are great at. They have their strengths, and everybody has their weaknesses. So I'm sure he's a great dude. I'm sure he's a great guy, great marketer. I just don't know much about his sales training. Mine comes from behavioral science because that's what I went to college for, behavioral science, human psychology, how the brain makes buying decisions, okay? So that is how my methodology, NEPQ, was actually made. If you Google my name, you might see that I did fairly well as a salesperson in 4 different industries. In fact, I'm ranked, I think, number 45 or 44 in the entire world in my 18-year career as far as the earnings I made as a salesperson out of over, I think, 100 some salespeople selling anything in any industry. So maybe that'll give you the difference here. Now, Queen says that she loves my hair better. Is that what you said, Queen? There you go. But if you go into our trainings, like we have 37 different training programs. If you're a client, you would go through those. You'll probably see the difference. A lot of the content is a customer coming to the salesperson. I work door to door. How to generate the initial interest to all these people who just want to be left alone. Carbon, these examples I'm showing you are not just people coming. Some of them are outbound leads. But door-to-door sales is one of the biggest industries we train. In fact, that was the first industry I sold in, was door-to-door home security. I was the #1 salesperson in the country out of every company eventually. Okay. As far as what I made. All right. Supposedly, that's what people said. Okay. All right. Okay. So medical device. Let's say that we could get you the implant that would cut your operating time in half. But at the same time, like you said, reduce all these follow-up appointments. So you're able to see, I think you said about 2 or 3 more patients a day than what you're doing now. I mean, I'm not saying that we could do that. I've got to know more. But let's say we could do that. Like, what would that do for your practice? Okay. See how I'm doing that. Okay. That's logical. Okay. They're going to tell me logically what that's going to do for the practice if they're able to see 3 more patients a day because they don't have to do so many follow-up appointments. And their operating time gets cut in half with my implant, means that they can do more operations every day, means the hospital or the practice makes way more money, right? You see that? Is that you, the real Jeremy Miner? Craig, no, that's my stunt double. In fact, that's my AI double. I've got like 27,000 AI stunt doubles out there, Craig. So this is not the real Jeremy Miner. It's my AI double. There you go. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to give you 2 more examples here. Oh, no, that's all I'm going to give you today. All right. Now, tomorrow we're going to go live within the Facebook group Sales Revolution. Every Wednesday, I interview a client from a completely different industry, and I break down their sales process that we've trained them. So even to be interviewed in our Facebook group, you have to hit certain requirements as far as like you used to be here as far as your closing percentages, and now you're here, or your income tripled or whatever. We have these requirements. Now, we don't talk income numbers on Facebook Lives because that's against FTC policy. You know, we have compliance around here at 7th level, a fairly large organization. I think we're the third largest sales training company in North America or something. Somebody told me that the other day, according to the rankings based on revenue. So every day we go live in the Facebook group Sales Revolution, or not every day, but every Wednesday. And I interview a client from a completely different industry. We break down their sales process and we show you how to sell more. And you can ask them questions like, hey, what was your biggest thing you had to overcome? Or what did you learn this? Or how did you overcome this objection? So if you want to be on that live tomorrow, that's at 7 p.m. Eastern, make sure you join our free Facebook group, that's Sales Revolution. I'm going to have some people on our team post that in the Facebook group here, and also Instagram, and also we don't go live on Instagram for those because we go live on StreamYard. So you can't go live using StreamYard with IG yet, or at least I can't figure that out. So you got to be in our Facebook group. That's where we go live. So if you're on our YouTube channel, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on the Facebook business page or Instagram or TikTok, make sure you go to Facebook right now, go to the search bar and type in Sales Revolution, and you'll be able to join it for free. If you missed the live training tomorrow, we always pin those trainings, the archive versions at the top of the Facebook group page. I think there's about 124,000 salespeople in there. So you can always ask questions. People come to your help, especially if they're clients. They'll always help you for sure. All right. Now, we love you. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern. And then this last question. Type in me if you feel that if you acquired the right skills, if you learned how to ask much better questions than you ask now for your industry, if you learned how to use your tonality to get your prospects to let their guard down, if you learned how to build trust by building a much bigger gap than you know now, and if you learned how to prevent many of the objections you lose sales from now, that you could sell more than you are now if you acquired those skills. Type in me in the chat here on Instagram, TikTok, the Facebook group, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook business page. Now, the question has to be asked. How are you going to do that? You know, the biggest question, the number one question that salespeople ask me, somebody type in the chat what you feel the number one question that most salespeople ask me is. We have over 65,000 clients now. That's individuals and companies. Some of those companies have 10 to 15,000 salespeople each. Some of them have 30,000 salespeople each. We might have 1 million people on our platform, on our sales training platform, going through our training products, not free content like this. This is basic stuff. What's the number one question people ask? Number one question. How can I make a difference? How do you get your name out there? How do I overcome objections? How do I gain? It's this. Carbon on YouTube, you had it. They asked me, how do I gain more confidence as a salesperson? Type in me if you've ever asked yourself the question, how do I gain more confidence? Type in me if that's you. Now, can I give you can I be real with you without you getting upset with me? Type in me if I can. Your confidence level right here will always drop down to where your current skill level is. So you know what I tell people? You want to have more confidence? You want to have more confidence in sales, then you got to increase your skill level. How can you have a high confidence level with a low skill level? How does that make any sense? Your skill level determines your confidence level. Nothing more, nothing less. You can read the best self-help books on the planet. You can pump yourself up with Rocky songs, Rocky Balboa. I love that guy. You can just pump yourself up all day. Your confidence level's up here. But by the end of the day, when you're not selling a ton, guess where your confidence level goes back down to? Where your skill level is. I mean, if a neurosurgeon asked, hey, how do I gain more confidence in performing brain surgeries? What would you tell them? Well, you got to learn how to do brain surgery successfully. You can't have confidence. How does that make any sense? Why do salespeople feel they can have higher confidence and not have a higher skill level? So if you want to acquire a skill level that our clients are acquiring, many of them are in the same industry as you are, and they are outproducing you by 2, 3, 5, even 10 times. A lot of them even work less hours because their skill level is up here. They've acquired it. If you want to have that same skill level, so your confidence level goes here because your skill level is there, message me directly right now. So if you're on Facebook group, message me directly right now. If you're on Instagram, message me directly right now. If you're on TikTok, message me directly right now. If you're in the Facebook group, Sales Revolution, message me directly right now. Okay. Typically, the reason why salespeople, coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, business owners, do you know why they come to us? Nobody comes to us to sell less. They come to us because they want to learn how to sell more. So if you want to learn how to sell more, message me directly right now. Now, when you message us, will you do yourself a favor? When we ask you questions about what you feel you're saying or asking or how you're using your tone, are you going to tell us the truth? Are you going to tell us what you feel is really holding you back from being up here with your skill level and your income level, whatever that is you want to make? Okay? Because if you don't open up to us, there's not much we can do for you. Okay? Now, are we on the same team? We're a sales training company. You're a salesperson who wants to sell more. That's typically why people come to sales training companies, so they can learn the skills to sell more. So message me directly. If you can't figure out how to message me directly because you're an old dude like me, you can't figure out social media, in the comments, post hashtag NEPQ, post hashtag NEPQ, and somebody will message you back. God bless you guys. 3 weeks into the program, I've already seen results from minor tweaks. James, congratulations. Which training program are you in, James? We have 37 different training programs. We don't just have one with one price. Depends on your industry, which one we put you in. So I want to make sure I know which training program you're in, James. That would be awesome. Okay, we love you guys. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, in the Facebook group, Sales Revolution. That's the only place we go live on Wednesdays. Talk to you soon. Oh, you're in, okay, NEPQ 3.0 Pro. Good for you, James. That's our mid-level core product, that's probably where the average person starts in our training curriculum. And they have to get certified in that program because before they can move up to the advanced inner circle and then other training programs above that. We have certification you have to go through. Ours is like a college university. You can't start at the very top, the most advanced stuff, because it'd be over your head for most of you, depending on what your skill level is. So we start you and gain different skills. Like your skill level goes up here, and then you can, if you get certified in one of our programs, you can then get into another training program that's even more advanced. Okay, we love you guys. Congratulations. We'll see everybody tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, inside the Facebook group Sales Revolution. Message me directly. If you can't figure out where to message me directly, just post in the comments, Real Love Alive, hashtag NEPQ. Hashtag NEPQ, you can post in the comments if you can't figure out how to DM me. I just said DM me. If you know how to do DMs, just DM me. But if you can't figure that out, in the comments, post hashtag live, and we'll reach out to you. We love you guys. See you soon. See you tomorrow. Take care. All right, TikTok, we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. IG, love you guys. See you tomorrow. Message me directly if you want to learn how to sell more. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, how do I end here? Okay, Facebook group, we'll see you tomorrow. LinkedIn, we'll see you tomorrow. YouTube, we'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you're in the Facebook group. That's where I go live. I don't go live on those other platforms on Wednesdays. We'll see you tomorrow.